Hi, and welcome back to Let's Bake and Cook Stuff. Today we're making potato salad, but not just any potato salad, old school potato salad. I'm talking the stuff I ate growing up. It is old school, and it is the best potato salad you will ever have. Forget about any other potato salad recipe. This is the only one you're gonna need. Maybe add some more mayonnaise or something, but this is my favorite potato salad. Please join me, and we'll be making potato salad. And right now I'm just peeling the potatoes. You don't have to see this whole thing. I just wanted to show you how I peel potatoes. I am doing it in this bowl here so that I can do it for you. I normally do it over the sink and then, do it like this. This is like one of the best potato peelers I've ever had. I just got it a couple days ago. The other one, I think I threw it away. I left it in must have left it in a pile of like potato peels or something, and anyway, it's gone, so I had to get a new one. And this one is amazing. I love it. Anyway, come back in just a minute and we are going to be making, I'm just going to call it the world's greatest potato salad. It's my favorite potato salad. It's delicious. It's old school, and it doesn't take hardly any time at all. The most time that takes the most is cooling it down after you've cooked it, because you got to boil the potatoes. Okay, the potatoes are peeled. Now I'm going to be cutting them. I cut them into about 1-inch chunks. I don't do it the same size as when I'm making mashed potatoes. Those I cut in, oh, you know what? Okay, the potatoes are peeled, and now I'm just cutting them into chunks. I like to cut these in bite-sized chunks. When I get a bite of potato salad, I want to get a bite of everything. I want the celery, the onion, the relish, the potatoes. So these are probably 1/2-inch pieces. The most important thing isn't what size they are. If you like big giant chunks, you could certainly do that. The most important thing is that they're kind of the same size so that they'll cook at the same rate. And when you're testing them, if you will be sure and test the like the bigger pieces. Like if you're testing them for doneness after they're done boiling, make sure that you test like the biggest one, because if you test a tiny one, it might be done, but those bigger ones might be not done. And let me tell you, I have undercooked the potatoes before, and it is not a good potato salad. No matter how good all the rest of the stuff is, the potato salad with the potatoes, you don't want your potatoes al dente. You definitely want them cooked all the way. But again, you don't want them mushy like you do for mashed potatoes, only because they'll get smashed and then you'll have mashed potato salad. So I'm just cutting these right now. I've also got some eggs boiling. How I do my hard-boiled eggs is I bring them to a boil. I have 6 in there. You cover them, you want about 1 inch over. I cover them with water. Then once they start boiling, I cover them with the lid of the pan, and then I turn the timer on for 17 minutes, and they turn out perfect every time. They're still hard to peel. If you have a good way of peeling them, I'd love to hear it, because I am telling you, I've tried all the tricks that I've seen on the internet, and I cannot, it's hard for me to peel them. And it doesn't really matter when you're making potato salad, but when you're making deviled eggs, it kind of matters, because you want them to look nice, But if the shell takes off part of the outside, then it doesn't matter as much when you're making potato salad, because you're gonna smash it up anyway. And my eggs are boiling, so I'm gonna stick the lid on. I'm gonna set the timer for 17 minutes. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna put the potatoes on, and when the potatoes are done cooking, then we'll be back. Okay, and I think I forgot to mention you need to salt the water, and you need to salt it pretty liberally. I put probably 2 tablespoons of water in here. This is probably 4 quarts of water in this 6-quart Dutch oven, and this is about 5 pounds of potatoes. So you want a good amount of salt, because that's going to help infuse the flavor right into those potatoes, right in there. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. And over there are our boiled eggs. Those will be ready any minute. And then we're going to make us some delicious old school potatoes. Okay, while we're waiting for the potatoes to cook, by the way, those need to boil, and it depends on the size that you make them. But mine probably will need to cook for about 10 minutes after you put them in there. So, but you want to check them. You want to stick a fork through them. If the fork goes through without any resistance, then they're ready to go. But again, you don't want them as mushy as you do like for mashed potatoes, because then when you're stirring them up, it's going to turn your salad into mashed potato salad. So I've got 3 ribs of celery here. I'm dicing them, pretty small. I like to have, when I get a fork, I want that perfect bite. with the potato, with the celery, with the onion, with the relish. I want all that on that bite. So I cut these, I call it dicing. I cut them down the, I just cut them once down the middle, and then I'm chopping them into little pieces here. And then we have our onion. I'm using a red onion. I have used brown onions. I'm sure I've used green onions at some point, but I mostly like to use red onions for this. It's my, red onions are my favorite onion to use in almost anything. If you'll notice, I don't use shallots. I've tried shallots a couple times. They're not my favorite. Whenever I use them, they're always stronger than a red onion to me. And you know, they're more expensive too. These red onions are cheap. I'm cutting these in pretty small dices, I'm gonna call it. Again, you don't want a big chunk of onion. And even I love onion and I don't want a big chunk of it. So we are cutting these in tiny, kind of tiny little dices. And I'm using this whole, it's a small one. I also, by the way, I'm not a fan of using half of things. You won't very often see me using a half of an onion or half of a bell pepper or whatever. I don't like putting them back in the refrigerator because then I always forget about them. And then I go there, you know, a week later to clean out my fridge and there they are, you know, kind of, you know, don't want to use them anymore. So I try to use, if I can, and I mean, if this is a big giant onion, I wouldn't be using it. I'd use half of it, and then I'd have to suffer through trying to remember to use it. But anyway, so that's the celery and the onion, and then those are going to sit there and wait until the potatoes are done. I'm just going to drain the potatoes. I don't rinse them. You want that starch. That starch helps hold on to the dressing when you're adding your mustard and your mayonnaise. The starch helps hold on to that, so we're not going to rinse them off at all. As soon as the potatoes are done, I'll come back. The eggs have been in the hot water for 17 minutes exactly. I'm going to pour off the hot water down into the sink, and then I'm going to add some ice water to it, and that'll cool them down faster, and also it will preserve the yolk. It will stay yellow that way. So there you go, perfectly hard-boiled eggs. Okay, and how do you chop up your eggs when you're going to use them in a salad? I'm using this contraption. It's an egg slicer, but you know you can also use this for slicing mushrooms and strawberries. Probably other things too, but those are the other things I use them for. I do it one side one way, and then I'm going to turn it the long way, and then you can see I have perfect little chunks of egg. And then I'm going to do this with all the eggs, and you can see I want to show you again. I sliced it one way and then take it out, and then I'm going to just put it in there the other way and then slice it. See? Perfect little chunks of egg. You could certainly do this with a knife, and I have certainly done it with a knife. Sometimes I can't find this thing. So, but I like it like that. It makes it all the same sizes and it makes it pretty, but don't worry about it if you don't have one. Process. I appreciate you watching. We're making potato salad. Okay, we're gonna let those potatoes cool down a little bit. They are obviously boiling hot. I'm gonna let them cool down maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna have potato salad. It does need to cool off before you eat it. I don't mind it when it's kind of warm, but it's way better after it's cooled off. So we'll be back in 1 second for you. Okay, so don't forget, in here we have our onion, celery, egg. I think that's all we have in here right now. And the onion. And now we're adding the potatoes. These potatoes are still pretty hot, but we're not mad at it. Okay, this is a little over a half a cup of mayonnaise. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. 1/4 cup of just regular yellow mustard. You could use other mustard if you prefer. This is just the kind I grew up with, so. And I'm making it old school. The only thing I changed in here that my mom didn't do, I'm adding some celery salt and I added the vinegar. She didn't do that. This is some dill relish, dill pickle relish. This is 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of celery salt. And now we're just gonna mix it up and we're gonna have potato salad. Now, again, it's gonna be better if you let it cool down a little bit, but it's good just like this. Trust me, it's really good. But sometimes when you sit it in the fridge, the mayonnaise gets kind of soaked into the potatoes and it'll get a little bit dry. Just add a little bit more mayonnaise, or if it's not too vinegary for you, go ahead and add a little more vinegar. You could actually even add some more of the dill pickle relish, just anything to moisten it up. Actually, what I meant to do is save some of the potato water. If you'll save the potato water, you can actually use that too, but I didn't do that this time, so we're just gonna be stuck with adding more mayonnaise if we need to. I think this is gonna be plenty of mayonnaise. This actually looks really good how it is, so. And you want to get it all incorporated. You can see in there how it is right now. There's a whole bunch of mustard still here, and you want to get it, mixed up evenly so that it's, you don't get a big bite of mustard or, a big bite of something, and it's not mixed in correctly. But really, this could go right now. This would be delicious just as it is right now. I'm going to put it in a nicer bowl. But yeah, put this in the fridge for a couple of hours. If you made this the night before for a picnic or a party, that'd be great. Again, it's 5 pounds of potatoes, so it'd be perfect for, perfect for a potluck if you're having a picnic somewhere, or if somebody is having some kind of a party. We used to have these for barbecues. I remember my mom bringing a big old bowl of this out for barbecues. When we would have them at home, we had our pool outside, and we'd be sitting out on the patio, and my dad would be barbecuing, and we would have this delicious potato salad. And it just really brings back memories of my childhood. And I have one other way that I make it, and I will bring that to you eventually. Hopefully it'll be summertime, because you want to, to me, potato salad is a summertime thing. I used to have a sister-in-law who would bring potato salad for Christmas every year, and everybody loved it. Her potato salad was pretty good too, but it wasn't as good as this. She's a neat lady though. Anyway, potato salad is done. I like to take a little sample of it and see how I was telling you how I like to get a perfect bite. This has potato, it has celery, it has onion, it has the egg in there, so it has everything. That to me is the perfect bite. It's good. I hope you try it, and I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe. Help a girl out. See ya. Thanks.